Hello, welcome to Reinvent and Rise. I am so excited. Today, I have special guest from a tour that I was just fortunate to be a part of, the Sean Fair Leadership Experience Tour. And as you know, here at Reinvent and Rise, we bring you the things. We bring you those who are in your prime, 45 plus. We bring the world to you from your perspective and bring things that are going to affect you. Today, I want to show you some women who had a dream and they made it come true. Women who look just like you, who want the same things you want, and who stepped out in faith and got it done. So join me today as I bring my guests in from the Leadership Experience Tour. I have LJ, I have Michelle, Angela, and Dr. Macia with us. Join me in welcoming them all. Ladies, I am so happy to have you here with me today to share with other women so that they can see that if they have a dream, 45 plus is not too late. We are in our prime, right? We are in our
Right.
prime. And this is the best part of our lives because we get to do the things that we may have been putting on the back burner for a while. So we're going to share with you today just the experience that we had and some of the things that we did, because we wanted to make our dreams come true. We wanted to bring them to fruition. So I'm going to start out with Lisa Crawford. I
Hey,
see
hey,
there in the
hey.
middle of my screen. Hello. She is the CEO of LJC Motivations, through which she reaches millions around the world with her messages of hope, comfort, and inspiration. She holds more than 20 years of experience as a motivational speaker, life coach, and nonfiction author, and she has been a hospitality consultant for 2 decades. She holds a business degree in organizational management in organizational management from Bethel University. She makes her bed in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and spends her free time hiking, writing poetry, skydiving, being an avid reader, and of course, an avid listener. Lisa, welcome. I'm happy
Thank
to have
you.
you.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So tell me, what led you to be a part of the Leadership Experience Tour?
There comes a time when you need to take it to the next level. That's
Absolutely.
what I saw with Sean Fair and this team. I've been speaking. I was a minister for many years, evangelist. And I started out kind of speaking full time in church.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started speaking outside of that. But my platform requires me to take it to the next level
Yes.
and on the corporate stage. And so that is what intrigued me to be a part of this.
Awesome. Awesome. So what did you gain? What do you think you gained now that we've done this? This was last weekend, everyone. Now
Yes.
that you've done this, what did you get out of the experience? What did it bring you?
It's so many words going through my mind right now, but camaraderie
Mm,
and understanding the ins and outs of being truly being a speaker. You're gonna miss your flight, you're gonna run through the airport, you're
yes.
gonna do all of these things. You may leave something at home, those things on the backside, those things matter too. And then to be on the stage like that, I've been on many stages, but this particular stage was a little different,
Mm-hmm.
with the headshots and the makeup. Y'all, I had never wore makeup before. I'm 54 years old. Look,
Wow.
when I was doing Cheryl Wood, they say, yeah, we're going to have this girl in here. She's going to beat your face. And I'm like, and you want me to pay for somebody to beat my face? That's how lame I am. And she said, no, baby, put makeup on. I'm like, oh, I only wear lipstick and eyeliner.
Oh.
I had lashes on, and I asked one of the guys, I said, do I look like a mannequin? So they were like, no, you look beautiful. So I had a full experience. And then to be up there and see my colleagues just put it down, everybody had such a powerful message. And I really understand that I was born to be on the stage. I
Yeah.
always knew it, but I
Yes.
felt it For real, for real.
Yes.
For real, for real. And I'm
Real
like,
for real, for
okay,
real.
Lord, this is it right here.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I think we all went through a number of firsts, okay, with Sean Faye. But I mean, that's just another example, ladies. She said she got her first beat, her first face beat, for the first time, and she's 54 years old. That's just an example, of some of the things that, it's time to step out, y'all.
It
It's
is.
time. It is time to step out.
And one
So,
last thing I want to
yes,
say, I'm sorry.
that's okay.
As when you find that thing, you know what you're supposed to do in your life. You can feel it, But when you get there, sometimes the funds may not be readily accessible to you. And
Right.
it demands that we make sacrifice,
Yeah.
for what we want. And people are always saying, you invest in yourself. And all the time I say, yes, I do, until I get where I need to be in my bank account and
Yeah.
my impact. I'm gonna keep
Yes.
doing it. I don't care what I have to do. I'm gonna do it. And I thank God for my family, because at the last minute,
Mm.
that cash out was going bing, bing, bing. So I'm just so grateful.
He made a way, right?
He
He
did.
made a way. He made a way. And you know what I love about the whole experience tour is it brings people from all facets of the community, all facets of society. We had teachers, we had doctors, we had lawyers, we had, motivational speakers. We had people from every sector, I could venture to say. And they all brought something new and different and inspiring to show people, that they showed us how to make it through life, how to make it, in different circumstances. They inspired us, and I'm going to show just the diversity of the people, because even on our panel here, I'm going to ask Dr. Marcia to chime in on what she got from the whole experience. She is a physician, life coach, and the founder and CEO of In Full Bloom Health and Life Coaching and Women Ready to Move Academy. She's been recognized by USA Today as a top entrepreneur to watch and has also been featured in Courageous Woman and Columbia Inspired magazines. She is also the proud recipient of the Groundbreaker Milestone Achievement Award presented by Dr. Sonia Stribling, the #1 life and business strategist for women. After practicing medicine for over 25 years and being active in public health, Dr. Marcia fully appreciates the role the mind plays in life and in health. She's a destiny life coach, and she helps professional women who feel trapped in their personal prison of life break free and finally live life without limits. Dr. Marcia, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the platform. Thank you for these powerful women that you have assembled. And I'm still getting, good feelings from being together last weekend. And just, uh, you mentioned the camaraderie, the fellowship, and all that was amazing. And so as I'm thinking about what attracted me to the tour, to the leadership experience tour, I knew it was different. And I didn't really know that it was going to be like that, right? I viewed it as it was another speaking engagement. There was going to be some opportunity for some exposure. We were going to, come together. And I think coming out of COVID, with it actually being in person on a stage, I thought that was what I was looking at. I'm gonna give my presentation, give my story
Mhm.
on stage, and just the energy in that room. And as we were doing the photo shoots, as we were, getting interviewed, it was powerful, 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 and it was definitely an experience I will not forget.
Absolutely. It was, you really had to be there to understand. I know that, many of you who are watching this today also watched us on a platform. You bought tickets and you're still going to be able to see us even if you haven't already. And I'll give you information. I'll be sure to leave that in the comments here so that you'll be able to go out and see some of these women. But it was just such a combination of things, being able to finally, for some women, it was the first time they were able to actually have their voices heard. How often have we just been silenced? Okay. These women had a chance to lend their voices to the world, and they had awesome things today, awesome things to say. I'm sorry, I'm tongue tied. I want to also bring another lady on who had a lot to say, Miss Angela A. Love Lewis. She is an empowerment speaker, a visibility coach and publisher residing in the metro Atlanta area. She's passionate about helping women use their gifts, talents, and voice, and she guides their brands with proven strategies that provide the visibility and credibility needed for them to elevate and dominate in the marketplace. Angela, thank you for being here. My sister, we've been friends for a while, and we've been on this road for a little bit, haven't we? Can you hear me?
Yes, I think I had a delay, but thank you so much, Alethea, and all these beautiful ladies on the platform. I'm so excited to be here. And I just want to say that, number one, it was so beautiful to be able to have an in-person experience with people that I've been interacting with virtually. So that, number one, was a powerful thing. To take it a step further, for me, I believe that as I talk about being unmuted and using your voice and speaking your truth, it was important for me to get on this stage at this time to really start lining up where I am and where I'm trying to go. And it was an absolutely phenomenal experience, and it gave us insight to all the things that it takes to really make a production like this come to fruition. So, sometimes you can see people on the stage, but you just never really think about all the different components that goes into play to make it an outstanding performance production like it was. And so when I think about, all the things we did behind the scenes, all the laughing in the 360 booth where we were having fun and, going in and eating dinner together and getting in and off, on and off the bus, all those little bitty things that people think don't matter. It created an experience that I don't think we will ever forget. And we have bonded, from even during that time to after, through different meetings and things that we've had since then. But it was just a great way to say that when you speak up, when you use your voice, when you get on that stage, you impact so many more people than you ever thought possible. Not only the people that are your target audience, but even others who are in the same profession who are doing the same things. I look at each one of you ladies and I was inspired, by what you do and what you say. So I just think it just was a whole, I believe as Lisa said, a whole level up, to what we were
sure
doing.
was. It sure was. Absolutely a whole level up. And we've come back and you can't be the same. I don't know how, I mean, you just feel it, you've come back from this and you're like, okay, I've put all this work into it. For many of us, it was a dream come true, and I can't just let it sit, I've got to continue to move forward. And, the tour has definitely given us the opportunity to do that even the week after we've come back. But for many of us, this was launching. We launched last weekend and there's no turning back. So I'm going to bring my next guest in, the final lady up here with me today, Michelle Edelin, who is a certified coach, mentor, speaker, and change catalyst who specializes in teaching clients how to operate entirely from a place of excellence. With more than 20 years of experience under her belt, she has helped countless individuals unleash the inner greatness and divine talents of ambitious professionals. In addition, she is a six-figure executive in state government and a co-pastor of the Foundation of Living Waters Church together with her husband. She's the owner of Excellence in All, a consulting firm that she created to help women understand that they do not have to be stuck or held hostage by any of these issues. Welcome, Michelle. Thank you so much again for being here. I'm so happy to see you. Tell us what led you to be a part of the tour.
I definitely will do that. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. I'm so glad to be with my sisters. You know what? Because we are now family. That's what Let does for you. It
Yes.
gives you an extended family. So for me, the Leadership Experience Tour was confirmation and revelation. It was
Mm,
confirmation that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and this is how I'm supposed to do it. And what I mean by the how is at that level of excellence, with
yes.
that level of expertise, with that level of training and building and growing and understanding behind the scenes. One of the things that I admire so much about Sean Fair is that he is walking in his calling and his purpose, which allows us to in turn learn from him and then walk in ours.
Yes.
And so it all flows together. So I had the what in terms of public speaking. I knew what I was supposed to do as it relates to speaking and my purpose. What I didn't have is the how. And
Mm,
that's the piece that quite often is missing. Sean Fair gives us the how.
yes.
He teaches us the how. He openly shares with us the how, and that was what I needed. And I had been praying, and I knew that the Lord would have me to do that. I just didn't know with whom or who to connect with or how I would need to connect. So that was the revelation piece, that
Yes.
I had the right connections. So the Leadership Experience Tour was basically me taking my purpose, which is excellence, walking in excellence and helping others do that, and learning and helping others to learn that excellence is an extension of your purpose. Your
Yeah.
purpose is what it is, but excellence is an extension of that. And the Leadership Experience Tour, all of the sessions and the training and the coaching and the practice sessions and rehearsals, etc., leading up to those 3 4 days, and then those 3 or 4 days being totally immersed in it, was exactly what I needed. And you're right. None of us can stop now. The momentum is there. It's been built. And now we have got to push forward. We have to excel and not just exist. No more existing. For
Mm,
anybody who was on the Leadership Experience Tour, we got to excel at this point.
yes. Yes. I love that. You heard what she said? She said, we have to excel.
Yes.
Time out for just existing.
Mm-mm.
Okay. We have to excel because we've moved to the place where we need to be. We can only build on it from here. Is that right? We can only build
Right.
on it from here. And I often say to the women that I coach, the world is waiting on something that you have. Your message, your voice is something that people need to hear. Somebody is waiting to hear that answer and whatever it is that you need to share. So we have to stop holding back on that, holding back on our gifts and our talents and that thing that we're purposed to do. And I think all of us here can speak to the fact that speaking, okay, is definitely a part of what we're purposed to do. And, Sean's platform allowed us to do that. What I love even more about what Sean's platform did is uh, it created a space, or it created the opportunity for me to have you ladies here and we can communicate on a regular basis and helping, as he says, we're family now. We can build each other up on a continuous basis. And that's what we need as women. That's what we need to do. So, you know, in no way did Sean ask me to do this show for him, but I strongly encourage, if you think you have something that you need to say to the world and you want to develop that voice, I strongly recommend his platform and recommend getting in touch with the Leadership Experience Tour staff. But I want to move a little further, even beyond what we experienced last week. So, ladies, this was a huge piece of our journey. Each and everything that we do, contributes to our journey. So, going forward, or, even stepping back and looking at things a little, why is it important for you to pursue the things that you're pursuing during this time? We know that speaking is a part of that, right? Because we did that over the weekend, and it's obvious that we're trying to perfect that craft. But what is it that you're doing in life right now? And why is it important that you pursue these things at this time? I want my listeners to hear the things that you're doing so that I know it will resonate with them and encourage them also to maybe start doing some of those things that they've been thinking about. So I'll start with you, LJ. What is it that you're doing, and why is it important for you to pursue it?
My platform is about leadership, executive leaders understanding that they weren't always in the title of leader. They once were an employee.
Yes.
And I'm sure that during the time that they were an employee, that they had a boss like them. And they don't want, I want to bring the human side out. It's not, everybody wants to do all these grandiose things, but I want to reach inside of the heart of man and woman who carry the title and bring the human side to them back. I understand that they have to reach numbers. I understand that they have need employees to do certain things, but you can get better results from people if you work with them.
Yes.
The leader that I had, he never trained me. So he and I, the toxicity in our relationship and in the whole department was suffocating. I was dying from it. And so, like I said before, nothing is ever wasted. I was in such workplace abuse with this guy that I'm thankful for him. In spite of it all, I still pray for him. I pray for his kids, because what he has exhibited to the everybody that's been under his rule or whatever, that's got to circle around somewhere. And I don't want his kids to run into him.
Right. Right.
I don't want that for them. So I want to always put a shield around them, because I'm gonna help people like him.
Yes.
And the beauty of this whole thing, I've been talking about this for a minute, but this stage let me know from the emails and the texts and all the things that I got back that I'm on the right path.
Yes. Nothing like confirmation.
Nothing like it.
Nothing like confirmation. Michelle, why don't you tell us, why it's important for you to pursue the things that you're pursuing?
Again, my platform is kind of twofold. One is working with women and driven women, purpose-driven women, career-minded women, to own and activate their excellence. Many women play small, shrink back, dim their lights. And what you're doing is you're muting that voice. You're muting in you what needs to come out, because there's somebody who needs what you have. And the way we say it in the ministry, when you hold it in your belly, you have lives hanging in the balance. Well, that's the same thing in the natural. There are people who are waiting to hear from you. And so I know that there are these women out here, because I've coached many of them. I've mentored many of them. And they need somebody to tell them, you know what, you don't have to dim your light. You don't have to play small. You can own and activate all of the excellence that's inside of you. By own it, I mean, you say, this is my design. And this is how I navigate this space. And I'm going to do something with it. I mean, I'm going to do the work. I'm going to do the work that I need to do. In the corporate space, I work with women in leadership to mentor them, to help them navigate how to get to that director level, how to get to the VP level, and then not just how to get there, but how to survive it. It's one thing to get there. It's a whole different animal to survive.
Yes.
When I say survive it, I mean survive it with your hair.
Yes.
Survive it with your health. To survive it with your sanity. To survive it with your family intact. And you can do it that way. I'm a living witness that you can survive it and have all of those things intact. But because I had 2 or 3 ladies in my life over the course of my 30+ year career who talked to me, and it was a formal mentorship, but it was mentorship. Right. And so I want to offer that to women. And women in leadership, in corporations, in public, private sector, as well as the nonprofit space. This is a tough space to navigate sometimes, but there's some tips, tools, strategies that are available to you, and you can navigate this space. You don't have to shrink back. You can own your excellence and you can activate it. And when you do, you will then begin to flow in excellence, where
Mm,
flow is an acronym for faith. You got to believe in something bigger than you.
mm.
You have
Yes.
to, because it really it can't be all about you. That's where we go
Right.
wrong sometimes. And then
Yeah.
there's leverage. You have to leverage every asset you have. I've had people actually say to me, well, you got that job because you were a woman. And you know what? I didn't say it to them, but I thought to myself, if that's the asset that I use to get it, then you know what? I'm going to leverage that
Okay.
asset.
Word.
Yes.
The O is for opportunities. We have opportunities that are presented to us all the time. And sometimes we look at them and we think, oh, that's not for me, or we look at it and think that's not good enough. I have taken positions back in order to move forward.
Amen.
You need to look at every opportunity as an individual opportunity and say, how can this bless me? God, how have you presented this to me so that it will be what it needs to be in my life? And then there's a W, which is wisdom. We have to have the wisdom of Solomon. We got to have wisdom because you can't navigate life without wisdom.
Amen.
No.
You can't do it.
No. No, you can't.
That's my platform. That's what I do. That's what I'm passionate about. As you can see, I'm going to go on mute so someone else can speak.
That's all right. Look, you dropped some serious nuggets, y'all. She told us we got to get in the flow,
You gotta get
and
in
she
the
broke
flow.
it down. And then she told us, and it can be done, and we can come out with our edges still. We can come out whole. We don't have
Look,
to.
my edges might be gray, and I earned every one of them, but I got my edges, and I'm coming out of this hole, and that's what
Yeah.
we want for each other. And that was another thing with Let. We all wanted to see each other fire, the set the stage
Yes.
on fire, and
Yeah.
everybody did it, and we were like cheering for each other, and we had just met. I
Yeah.
just met every one of you, but
Yeah.
I was like your biggest cheerleader out there.
That's right.
And we got to do that even in our platforms away from Let. That's the passion we have to have.
That's what we
Okay, I'm
have.
going on mute for.
That's, thank you. Look, you gave us some good stuff. You gave us some good stuff. Dr. Marcia, I want you to weigh in as well. What are you passionate about and why?
Well, I first have to say that Michelle, you were over there flowing. So we were
Yes.
catching what you were putting down. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. So good, so good. And I could feel your energy and your passion for this. And so my passion is for women who struggle and professional women in particular who we are killing the game at work, at church, wherever, right? But then there's that area where we are struggling and we are ashamed. We don't know how to bridge that gap. And so my word for the year is building bridges.
Mm,
And so when you have someplace you're trying to go and you don't know how to get there, there's a process to get across, and I help them to get across. And sometimes that's coaching, sometimes that's prayer. It's there's a pathway, but the biggest thing, and someone alluded to it, when you make that bridge
mm.
and you get over the bridge, that bridge now is for the people who are coming after you.
Yeah.
And so that's the big thing, because the devil tries to keep us focused on our problem so that we can't be someone else's solution.
Yes.
And so that's my passion. And yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I'm.
Oh my goodness, you hit on so much right there. And you're right. I mean, and the quicker we realize that the devil means us no good, the better off we'll all be. You know, we have to be consistent in our faith, just as consistent as he is in trying to undo everything that God's trying to do in our lives. We have got to stick to what we know God gave us, what he placed in us, and believe that come hell or high water, it's going to come to fruition. You've got to have that mentality.
Mhm.
And you definitely hit a chord right there with me, because it's something that I always stress as well. You women are just so encouraging. And the whole thing about the bridge, my goodness, people always see it as, we're trying to cross to the other side. We're trying to cross to the other side. And we often forget, but there's still somebody back there who needs to come over. You just don't need to get over. You may even have to go back over that bridge to get somebody. You know what I mean? So I like that analogy about the bridge too. That was awesome. That was awesome. All right, Angela A. Love, it's your turn. Tell us what you're passionate about and, what are the things you're pursuing and why?
So let me say that these ladies are so amazing. Everything. And so if y'all see this right here, you cannot imagine how much better it was at the LEC conference. I'm telling you, because it was just power there. And for me, my passion is about helping women to find their voice. I believe that for so many of us, we went through life and we've got to a point where maybe we feel like, is this all there is? But we've been through trauma. We've been through drama. And I really believe that until you reveal the things that you've been through, you cannot truly heal. And for me, my platform is to help women become published authors because I believe our stories, things happen to us, but a lot of times it's for somebody else. And so when you get to a point that you can tell your story, that you can speak your truth, that you can share it with someone else to help them to see that, baby, I'm not staying where I was at. Yes, it happened to me, and it may take you some time to get through it. But once you cross that bridge, as Dr. Marcia just said, now you can realize and believe in yourself. You've got that confidence to understand that all these years that you have raised kids or been in corporate America or been married or been divorced or whatever the case may be, those experiences in your life have positioned you to help the next person to see that there is something better out here. The Bible says Jesus came that we may have life and have it more abundantly. So we can't stay in a stuck position in the past and let it keep us down. We have a voice. It needs to be heard. We have value, and we need to know that it matters. What you say can transform somebody else's life. Your experiences can help somebody else see that if you can do it, I think I can do it too. I'm going to press forward. I'm not going to be stopped. And my word for this year is no limit. There's no limit to what you can accomplish if you believe in yourself. And once you believe, now you've got to lead yourself to those opportunities and through those doors that God has opened up for you. Because once he opens it, trust and believe, nobody can shut it. So it's up to us to be powerful and walk in it, because I believe for women, I'm all about women empowerment. And I know that once we understand who we are and whose we are, and that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, oh, we're unstoppable. We just got to keep going and keep pressing forward and encourage one another, because that's what it's truly about.
Yes, yes. Empower one another. And let me tell you, you empowering right now, okay? You are empowering many of women because we need to see that it can be done. And we need to be told that, because so often we have those little negative voices, those things. I have a girlfriend who says that they like to hang out on my earring. So they get real close to my ear and just constantly whisper at me all day long, you can't do that. That idea doesn't really mean anything. You're not worthy of this. You don't know your value. Da, 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 da. So we need somebody like you, like all of the women here, who are going to inspire us and speak the truth to us so that we can negate those little negative nannies. Okay, just get rid of them that like to hang out and just take up our ear space. You ladies have just, this has just been awesome all by itself. Just hearing what you're passionate about, and knowing why you do what you do. And there's only so much time that the show can have. I know that we have far more that we can share, and we're going to continue to do that over on Leveling Up the podcast as well. But before we get off of here, tell us, number one, what program you're offering. And then also tell us, how would you encourage a fellow riser? Risers are women that I refer to as being, they're 45 plus, who are determined to do whatever they need to do in this stage of their life to elevate to where they want to be personally and professionally, whatever that may take. And my approach is holistic. It starts with working on the body first. You got to work on the mind and taking care of the body before you can even think about, well, what am I going to perfect in my profession? Because you got to come whole first for your own well being. So I want you to share with us, to those risers, how can you encourage them? And also, don't forget to tell us how we can connect with you and what programs you're offering. So we'll start out, Angela, since you were last, we'll just go back in the same order. Tell us that for us.
Absolutely. For the risers, I want to say number one, it's a mindset. You have to make the decision that you are worth it. Until you decide, you're never going to really pursue it. So, number one, make that decision and understand that you are worth it. You are worth every single thing out there that God has for you. So, don't shortchange yourself. Start speaking your truth by affirming yourself and letting you know that you are designed to be great. My favorite poem is by Marianne Williamson, and it's Our Deepest Fear. And our deepest fear is that we are not inadequate, but that we are powerful beyond measure. So we have to start embracing that thing. You have to start speaking that to yourself and understanding who you are. And once you do that, baby, walk in it. Don't let anything or anybody stop you from your purpose and your goal and what God has for you. It is right there. And we think that, we're waiting on God, but in actuality, He's waiting on us.
Mm,
All we have to do is decide and then start moving forward. And then as we are in alignment, He'll start dropping things down in our pathway, the people, the resources, all the things that you need to be the greatness that's already inside of you. So decide it, walk in it, and don't let anything or anyone stop you. As
yes.
far as connecting with me, you can go to my platform. It is www.iamangela.lewis.com. I am actually, my thing that I offer right now is an empowerment blueprint. So it's a 4-week course, 30 days basically, that we talk about, the things to help you with the mindset, to help you with, empowered actions, to help you with empowered affirmations that get you where your juices are flowing, where you are walking and what your purpose to do, so that you can feel confident enough to start pursuing it.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Oh, that
Thank
was good.
you.
Thank you. Dr. Marcia, you're up.
Yes, thank you. So for those that are listening, this is for the risers. Okay. My tip, the big kaboom of how you rise is that you focus on your next step.
Mm,
That's it. I'm reminded of the story in the Bible where the Israelites are crossing Jordan and they are told to cross over. And in that time, the waters, the banks were high. It was flood season, and so the priests are walking towards the river that's overflowing. And it isn't until the priests put their feet, they put their foot into the water,
yes.
now the waters start to recede. And so there's an action step that needs to happen. Not all of them. You don't have to see the end of the matter. You just have to take that next step. And so I'm offering you a free gift. It is a decision making blueprint. You can get it at Dr. Marcia freegift.com. And I spell my name with an E instead of an I, Marcea. And what that's going to do is going to walk you through how to make the best next decision. Normally we make decisions and then we change our mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that keeps us spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. But you have the power, you have the ability, you have the purpose. You just have to take that next step. Dr. Marcia, freegift.com. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. All right, Michelle Edelin, you're up next.
My word of encouragement to the risers is this: my faith teaches that faith without works is dead. And if you want to make that into a mathematical computation, because I don't know what your faith is, then you can do an if then statement. If faith without works is dead, then faith with works brings life.
Mm,
And so if you will put your faith and your work together,
Amen.
on whatever it is, and it doesn't have to be something huge. We're looking for the lightning, the flash, and the thunder to crash, and we're looking for fireworks. Mm-mm. You put your faith and your works together and you watch life come in whatever the situation is.
Yes.
Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't make it something bigger than it has to be. Put your faith and your work together and you watch for life. And when you see that life begin to happen, go work over there in that area.
Mm.
And as you continue to put your faith and your works together and you see more life beginning to happen, you continue to work. And before you know it, you're going to have life in a whole situation that you thought was dead,
Hallelujah.
that you thought was dead.
Yes.
Now, God may never have said that it was dead, but you thought it was dead. And
You
so he
did.
got to let you work it so that you can show yourself. See, we wait for God to tell us everything, give us everything, like it's all the work. He's got to do all the work. No, baby, you got to do the work. You can reach me at www.michelleedelin.com. I have a masterclass for you, and it is Unstuck to Unstoppable. And one of the things that the Lord showed me is that getting unstuck isn't quite enough. We get unstuck, but if we don't do what needs to be done so that we become unstoppable, those things that had us stuck will loop right back around to us.
Mm.
And if you don't do the work to keep what loops back around from attaching to you again, from impacting your mindset, from eating away, chipping away at your armor, your armor of confidence, your armor of belief in yourself, your armor of I have no fear. It'll start to eat away at it and it'll come right back to you. But when you do the steps that you need to do to become unstoppable, it doesn't matter what comes back around because you are now unstoppable. MichelleEdelin.com. God bless you. Thank you so much, my sister, for letting me be here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, LJ.
Hey,
It is
hey.
your turn. Hey, hey.
So to my risers, I'd like to just have you to think about the depth of your yes and your no.
Mm.
Both of these words are action words. And as a 50 plus, some of us are so used to saying yes to everything. Can you do this? Yes. Can you do that? Yes. But we need to take those yeses for everybody else and turn them within.
Yes.
Say yes to you. Say yes to your dreams. Say yes to your thoughts and things that you want to do. Say yes to the fact that you may want to sit down today and do absolutely nothing, and it is okay. Say no. The depth of your no, I can't do it. When you say no to somebody, you are honoring yourself.
Mm.
So
Mm.
it's been hard for me to say no to people. I've been a people pleaser most of my life. But when I learned the power of that little 2-letter word, hello, I
Oh,
found out I had more time. I had a little bit more peace. I had a lot more me. So understand the power of the depth of your yes and your no. Make it make sense for you. You
yes.
can find me at www.lisajcrawford.com. I am attaching, my person is attaching my ebook, The Master Relationship Builder, to it today. So it will be available possibly next week. But stay tuned, www.lisajcrawford.com.
Ah, oh my God. Look, I'm going back and listening to this entire broadcast. Okay. There was so much dropped here. Anyone out there who is listening to this, who is watching this, you cannot walk away from this and say that you got nothing. You got a lot out of this. And I am so, so grateful that these women came here to share their hearts, to help us to grow, to help the riser in all of us to see that it is time out for sitting and being stagnant. We've got to move. We've got to move on those things in our heart. We don't want to keep looping around, as Michelle said. We want to put our foot in the water, as Dr. Marcia said. And like LJ said, we got to choose our best yes, ladies, and stop being that people pleaser that we've been. And I'm preaching to myself there. It is a daily battle for me. As women, we're nurturers. We just want to help people. And sometimes we help people and it's not helping us. So we've got to get past that. Okay, we've got to get past that. We got to get to the point where we are on the front burner, all right, and no longer sitting in the back on simmer. That pot needs to come up front, and that pot is us. And Angela told us that as well. It is time to get up. It is time to move. Ladies, thank you so much. This has been so, so rich. I appreciate you coming in and pouring into my risers. But you know what? This isn't where it's going to stop. We're going to go on for just a little ways further. So, you all are going to have to jump over on Leveling Up the podcast, where these women are going to share some of the things that they've been doing to help them to rise to where they are right now. They told us what they're passionate about and what they're doing in the programs they offer, but they had to do a little work to get there. So we want to continue to encourage you by talking some more about that. So head on over to Leveling Up the podcast. It's probably going to run right along with this one. All right. So thank you, ladies. Again, I appreciate you so much. I can't wait to put this out there for everybody to hear. And to my risers, as I say when I end, go out, be audaciously yourself, be confidently you, because you have that imprint that only you have. And whatever that is, the world is waiting for it and they need it. So go out and stop depriving us of what we need from you. All right. Thanks so much.